Alright, welcome back. We're working on lesson 2.3 again, and we're still doing multi-step equations. So our first step is to distribute and then combine like terms, and then we reverse PEMDAS. So we do addition and subtraction, then we do multiplication and division in order to solve for a variable like a here. Example 7, I wrote wow because that is a pretty difficult problem, one that I wouldn't put on a test. But if you want to go ahead and try that now, and if you can do it, that's great. My expectations will be blown away if you can do that. I'll show you how to do it, but don't expect it on a test. You could see something like example 5, 6, or 8 on a test, so you'd want to be ready for that. So with your notes from the last lesson, you definitely need those. First thing we do is distribute, and there's really nothing to distribute in example 5, so we're all set with that. Next is combine like terms. So we're looking at the right side. Is there anything we can combine? Obviously not. There's only one term there. But there's 3 terms on the left side, and 2 of them I can combine. So I know 2a minus 8a is negative 6a, and then plus 3 equals 8. So all I did in that first step is combine the 2a and the negative 8a. So we've done that. We distributed, well, didn't have to, then combine like terms. Now reverse PEMDAS. We're going to add and subtract before we multiply and divide. So we're unraveling what's happening to that a there. It's being multiplied and it's being added. We're adding 3 to it. So we're going to take care of this addition first. And we're going to do that with subtraction. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides of the equals sign. And with that done, we have negative 6a equals 3 minus 3 is 0, equals 8 minus 3, which is 5. So we just end up with negative 6a equals 5. Now our last step, we're multiplying negative 6 times a. So in order to get rid of that, we have to divide by what it's being multiplied by. So divide by negative 6. If I can draw a 6, divide by negative 6 and divide by negative 6 on both sides of the equal sign. Get in the habit of doing that. Negative 6 divided by negative 6, put that in your calculator. It's 1 if you need to. And we have a equals 5 over negative 6. Well, I know that 5 over negative 6 is the same as negative 5 over 6. So that's what I'm going to put for my answer. Because a positive divided by a negative is just a negative. That would also be the same thing as if we wrote it like that, where the negative's in line with the fraction sign. Sometimes you'll see it written like that, but that's going to be our answer, is a equals negative 5 over 6 for the first one. Alright, next one, we do have to distribute. We have this negative 2 that we're going to multiply by 4y, so I'm just going to copy things down that I'm not worried about yet. So 10y, and then negative 2 times 4y is negative 8y, or minus 8y. And negative 2 times positive 8 is negative 16. And that equals negative 20. So we distribute it. Now we have to combine like terms. Well, they're written right next to each other. I just need to combine those. 10y minus 8y is 2y. Minus 16 equals negative 20. Alright, so we distributed, we combined like terms. Now we have to add and subtract, take care of that before we take care of multiplication and division. So I'm going to add 16 to both sides, plus 16, and copy down what I'm not working with yet. So 2y equals negative 20 plus 16 is negative 4. And So now we just have to divide both sides by 2 because we have 2 times y. So we're going to divide both sides by 2, divide by 2, and we get for our answer y equals -2 because -4 divided by 2 is -2. All right, the ridiculously difficult one. Jan joined a cafe club for $29.95. So already she's spent $29.95. And maybe this will make sense to you. I hope it does. It was difficult for me to figure out just because sometimes I get tangled up in the words. So she's already in the hole $29.95. That's how much she's spent. As a member, she saves, so she's going to save some money having to do with addition, $2.50 on every meal. So if we've got $2.50, that's the same as 2.5 times every meal. So multiplied by every meal that she has, maybe we'll say that's M. You could have used X, you could use any variable. So that's how much she's saved on every meal. And if you start with she's that much in the hole and we're adding 2.5 times every meal she has, she's saved $12.55. So she's saved that much. We're going to write and solve an equation to find out how many meals she has had. So that's that M there. So we're going to solve it for that. So at this point, it's definitely an equation that's within your realm of possibility because we just did example 5 and example 6. So maybe pause the video and try it. All right, assuming you tried it, let's start with addition and subtraction. So we're taking this 2.5 times M, that's multiplication, and we're subtracting 29.95 from it. So if we're subtracting, we can add 29.95 to both sides. And so on this side, that's going to cancel out, and we have 2.5m equals 12.55 plus 29.95 gives me 42.5. So 42.5. Now my last step, I just have to divide by what's being multiplied by m. So divide by 2.5, divide by 2.5, and on the left side, 2.5 divided by 2.5, that turns into a 1. 1 times m is just m. So m equals 42.5 divided by 2.5, and your calculator will give you 17. So she has had 17 meals, and we were able to find that out because she spent $29.95, but then she saved 2.5 on every meal. So this Cafe Club membership has been worth it. Good for Jan. All right, on to example 8. The sum of the measure, sum, what does sum mean? Sum means addition. The sum of the measure of the angles shown is 90 degrees. So what it's saying is this angle right there plus this angle equals 90 degrees. So if that were angle A and that's angle B, then it's saying that angle A plus angle B equals 90 degrees. And so if I were to draw them right next to each other and eliminate the space between, it would look about like that, where we have a 90-degree angle, a right triangle, like the edge of a piece of paper or the edge of a desk, roughly. So if we're adding up those two, it gave us a measure of those, but we have variables to work with in them. So we're going to add up that first one that I boxed, like as if it's angle A. So 7x plus 6, and then we're adding that to this second angle, which is B, which is 5x, and that equals 90 degrees, right? So we're just adding the two angles together to make this, basically, make a 90-degree angle. So we don't need to distribute, we can combine like terms. 7x plus 5x is 12x, plus 6 equals 90. So first step, we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. So we've got 12x plus 6 equals 90. We're going to subtract 6 from both sides. Minus 6 minus 6. So we have 12x equals 84. And so now our last step is we have 12 times x. We're going to divide both sides by 12, and we'll get x equals 84 divided by 12, and 84 divided by 12 is 7. And that's going to be our answer for that one. So example 7 was particularly tough just to set it up, but once we had it set up, it's a very doable problem. You'll definitely see problems like 5, 6, and 8 in the future. So at this point, you've taken notes on them, you're ready to try some examples. So good luck.